So, përshëndetje të gjithëve, emri im është Elson, ju më njihni tashmë besoj. Dhe jam nga Shqipëria, tani banoj në Gjermani. So I'm offering these free online lessons since a long time now, about 6-7 years or something. And at the moment I'm organizing them once a month. So if you want to join this lesson, go to learnalbanianonline.net. There you have the link, join lesson, and you can join these classes. They're also recorded and published on YouTube for others to join, for those who couldn't join the lesson. Yes, in order not to miss any other future lessons I'll be organizing, you can subscribe on my YouTube channel. And yes, we're going to start with the introduction part. Torben, përshëndetje. Hello, would you like to
Përshëndetje.
Yes, so ti je nga Gjermania, me
Po, unë jam nga Gjermania.
Po, dhe dëshiron të mësosh shqip, sepse?
Po, donjëherë jam në Maqedoni ose në Kosovë, kam jetuar edhe disa vjet në Maqedoni, dhe dëshiroj prapë të, si të them, të reaktivizoj njohjen e gjuhës shqipe.
Ta rifreskoj, përmirësoj gjuhën.
Rifreskoj, po.
Okej, shumë mirë. Faleminderit që je në mësim. Elizabeth, përshëndetje. Ti ishe në Mbretërinë e Bashkuar me pushime apo jo?
Po, u ktheva pas ditë nga Mbretërinë e Bashkuar. Jetoj në Vlorë dhe kam nevojë për të mësuar shqip. Gjuhë shqipe është më mirë. Po, faleminderit.
Mirë. Ti u ktheve nga Mbretëria e Bashkuar sot pas dite, right?
Sot pas dite.
Sot pas dite. Okej. Sa ditë, sa javë ndenje atje?
Ndenja 9 ditë. 9 ditë. Me shoqen.
Me shoqen time ose te shoqja ime. Shumë mirë. Mirë, Lenson, përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje.
Do të bëj një pyetje tjetër tani, se ne të njohim, so we know you already. Ti the nuk ke shok shqiptar për të folur shqip, për të praktikuar shqip, right?
Po.
Nuk ke asnjë, as në internet, as në Hong Kong? Nuk ke shok?
Po.
Po apo jo? Mirë.
Yes, I don't have.
You don't have, So nëse dikush po shikon nga YouTube tani që dëshiron të praktikoj shqip me Lensonin, mund ta kontaktoj Lensonin. Në rregull?
Në rregull.
Mirë. Tereze, përshëndetje.
Përshëndetje. Po, jam Tereze, jam nga Norvegjia dhe banoj në Prishtinë, Kosovë dhe dëshiroj mësuar shqip për të flas më mirë me njerëzit këtu.
Me njerëzit këtu, shumë mirë. Dëshiroj të mësoj shqip për të folur me njerëzit këtu. Mirë. Tjetër kemi Erdin? Apo don me prezantu veten?
Përshëndetje, unë jam Erdin, vi nga Maqedonia e Veriut dhe sot jam vetëm dhe gjuaj me anëtarë gjuhë shqipe, kështu që sot jam vetëm si mysafir.
Mysafir, në rregull. Faleminderit që je në mësim. Okay, so those who are already in the lesson, I have just sent you the link of the lesson, and for others who are watching from YouTube, I'm gonna do the screen share. From experience, the screen share stops sometimes, so I'm gonna stop and start it again. As you can see, it's a new layout. We are done with those topics, whatever we talked about earlier. Now we will start with like a new chapter, new cases, new tenses, new everything, a new layout. I mean, it's nice, right? Looks nicer. We're going to start in this lesson with the genitive case of nouns. Yes, it's one of the cases of nouns that we have, and it is a bit complicated at the beginning, but it will all make sense. It's very, very important for you, especially if you're watching from YouTube. It's very important to check out the previous lessons we did about nouns, because genitive case, it's a mix of all the 3 previous cases we have done so far, the nominative, accusative, and dative case. So once you know, or once you have reviewed those, then you'll be able to understand genitive very easily. You'll not have difficulties. Yes, so it's the 6th lesson about the nouns, genitive case of nouns, how to use it, how to build it, and we're going to learn some prepositions, some expressions that use the genitive case, and at the end of the lesson, some exercises as well. Should you have any questions, you can just let me know. And yes, so what a noun is, we have mentioned this before as well. It can be the name of a person, proper nouns, or just in general names of places, animals, other things. And in Albanian language, the noun has a form, so it can be indefinite or definite, or non-specific, specific. They have a case, so we used to have 7 cases, but now we have only 5. Nominative, accusative, dative, we have covered all these now. And genitive, what we'll talk about today. Ablative, the last case we'll study. Albanian nouns have genders, masculine, feminine, and neutral, and numbers, singular and plural. Yes. They don't have genders, yeah, and they don't have tenses, of course. Now, what is the case of the noun? So you have maybe noticed how sometimes, not sometimes, but almost always nouns in Albania, they change the ending a lot. So that change in the ending, that's called the case of the noun. And yes, each case has a form. It can be definite, indefinite, it can be singular, plural, masculine, feminine. And each case has specific usages. We have mentioned nominative with specific prepositions and as a subject of a sentence. We have mentioned accusative with specific prepositions and as the object. We have mentioned dative with that long list of verbs and with no prepositions. And genitive, we'll talk about today how we build it and use it, and then the ablative. Yep. And as I said, each case has a definite and indefinite form. So these are already familiar to you. Let's just check a very basic sentence in genitive, and we'll learn it in a bit how to build it. So the genitive case, it's abbreviated in GEN. It's a grammatical case used for nouns, pronouns, or adjectives that modify another noun that indicates possession. In other words, we call the genitive case the possession case. It's the English of, the son of, or the daughter of, or the s with apostrophe. So that's the possession case or the genitive. Nëna e Mireles punon si mësuese. So the bolded part, that is the genitive. What's special about genitive is that every single time you need an article. So genitive consists of 2 parts, 1 article and 1 noun. If it does not have article, it's not genitive. It can be dative then. Yes, and the word nëna there, that's the subject of the sentence. That's the subject or nominative. And e Mireles, that is the possessed part. I mean, that's the genitive. Any questions so far? Okay, so I'll take that as a no. Let's see now how to build a genitive. I have put here what we have done in the previous lessons as well, so we can compare the endings that genitive takes compared with nominative, accusative, and dative. And also we'll just review a bit how what endings do the other cases take. Yes, I have put different, these are only masculine nouns, all of them, and I have put different masculine nouns. So in nominative, we have said it's nie liber, and the definite form, libri. In accusative, luckily it stays the same, also nie liber, but the usage is very different. And the definite accusative, librin, takes an N. In dative, we have said that dative indefinite, it's the same like nominative definite. So also there, nie libri. However, the definite form takes a T now, not an N like accusative, but a T, librit. So consider these endings or keep them in mind very well before you learn the genitive case. In genitive, we will have exactly, I have copied exactly the same nouns from the dative. They're exactly the same ones, but with the difference that the genitive will have a linking article in front. So the nouns will have the same endings in singular, in plural, in feminine, masculine that will be different, but singular, plural will have the same form. Just with the difference that we will need a linking article in front of the noun. So what in all four of them, so singular, plural, indefinite, definite. What the linking article is, we will check it out in a bit. So yes, exactly the same ending. So dative and genitive especially are very related with each other. The endings are exactly the same. And by the way, we have not talked about ablative yet, but ablative as well will have exactly the same endings, with a small exception, but yes, the same endings. So that's how we build the genitive masculine nouns. Linking article is the key, and that linking article means of, so the possession particle of, or s with apostrophe in English. And the other nouns, so dial, diali, and then the linking article still here, nia, diali. Yes, these are all masculine nouns with different endings. Any questions so far? I'll just stop a bit with the screen share to see if anyone has joined. No one. Okay. So any questions? No? Elizabeth?
No questions.
No questions. Okay, na regulă. Mir. Let's check. Let me continue with the screen share again. Okay, here we are. Now let's check out the feminine nouns. It's exactly the same principle. So here we have in nominative lule, definite it was lulia. Indefinite accusative, luckily it's the same like nominative, just like we mentioned before. Definite lulen, also with an N. Dative indefinite luleye, definite takes the S ending, lules. And genitive, again, I have copied the same from dative, exactly the same endings, the same nouns, with the difference of a linking article in front of it. And that linking article, we'll check it out in the next slide. What that linking article is, it has the meaning of in English, or S with apostrophe. So that's how we build the genitive nouns. Now, before we go to the articles, so the next slide number 7 and 8, let's go back to slide number 5. Remember that for nominative, accusative, and dative, previously we have not only done the cases of nouns, but also the cases of adjectives. Albanian adjectives, they also have a case. And I would say like 80% of Albanian adjectives, they have a linking article as well. So for example, I mirë, I bukur, I keq, I rëndësishëm, e rëndësishme, etc. The linking article we have used for these nouns are exactly the same linking articles we will need for the genitive case. Exactly the same linking articles, nothing else. So let's say in libro I mirë, it was there, a good book, for example. In genitive, it will have the same article. It would be I, so linking article, I. For feminine, it was e. For plural, it was typically t. For accusative indefinite, it was also t, singular. So again, make sure you have watched the previous lessons we did on cases of adjectives, of nouns, then it will all make sense. And those are the linking articles we will need in the genitive case. Now let's take a look at them on slide number 7. So the linking articles in genitive are 4 of them. Let me just write them, all of them here. I, t, and s. So s is the new one. We have never seen it before as a linking article. At least I've not mentioned it in the lessons. There are 4 linking articles in the genitive case. Depending, we said earlier that genitive, we use it to indicate possession, the possession case. So it's the possessor and the thing that is being possessed. Typically, there are 2 nouns that are linked in between with this linking article. So in the middle of them, you put this linking article. We will do some exercises. It will all make sense in a bit. So here are the linking articles that the noun in genitive will take. I said that genitive has typically, let's say, noun number 1 plus the linking article in the middle, plus noun number 2. So we mentioned the example of, I think it was the third slide or the first slide, Mirela's mother. Yes, so noun number 1 is Nana, the linking article in the middle, and then noun number 2. Let me take that sentence and bring it on the slide so we can have it there. Okay, follow me on slide number 7 again. Genitive case will have this like construction. Noun number 1, typically it's like this. Not always, we will see some special forms, but typically it's noun number 1, the article in the middle, and then noun number 2. So one noun possessing the other noun. Nana, that's the first noun, the article in the middle, A, and Mireles is the second noun. So that article plus the second noun, they make the genitive case. Now the whole secret to use the genitive, the whole secret, complicated part is in the first noun. The first noun can be any of nominative, accusative, dative. It can be any of masculine, feminine. It can be any of definite, indefinite. So the whole key is recognizing the first noun. Is it nominative? Then you'll have to use one of these articles, either E or A. If it's masculine, E. If it's feminine, A. And on this slide are shown if the noun is indefinite. In the next slide, if they are definite. So the whole key is knowing the first noun. Is it definite or indefinite? Is it nominative? Is it accusative? And then you will know which article to use, because the article is the confusing part. There are 4 of them, and yes, you can either learn them by heart, or we have done adjectives, many lessons about adjectives. Keep in mind or try to remember what articles have we used when we use the adjectives. You will use exactly the same articles here, exactly the same ones. Yes, in accusative, so again, indefinite, we said it was the, and for dative as well, the article was the. So here we have you, Nana is nominative, it's the subject of the sentence, right? The first noun, nominative. Nana is a feminine noun, ends in a, so we look at the feminine column here. So we will use the A article, Nana A. Let me write another example. Libri inzânsit, the book of the pupil, of the student. So libri is a nominative definite. So it's a masculine noun. We look at this one here. It's an E. So the article will be E. It's exactly like if you were to say the expensive book, right? Adjective, strained. The article is E. You will use exactly the same articles we said earlier, just like adjectives. Exactly the same ones. The S was new. We have not mentioned it before. We will check it now.
Sorry, I have a question.
Yes.
Yeah, the title is when the element is possessed is an the element possessed is an indefinite noun.
Yes.
But the element possessed is here in those 2 examples a definite.
No, the
Nana libri is definite.
No, I mean the 1 second. Use possession with element with the thing that you are owning, that you are possessing. I think I've expressed it wrong there. Possession. So not the noun that is possessing it. Libri inzânsit, of whose. I mean, with the second noun. That is the genitive part.
Yeah. Okay.
And when it is, the noun is in indefinite. 1 second, I think I've expressed it wrong in English. So the articles in the genitive case, when the noun is definite. When the noun is definite.
Well, I think actually in nominative it doesn't make any difference. It's Nana, well, libri inzânsit or nie libri inzânsit.
Nie libri, yes, inzânsit.
But in the other cases it will make a difference, yeah. Yes,
it's still, in other cases it will make a difference. For example, in accusative, nie liber temir, for example, a good book, or nie liber te nienzânsi of a student, if it were indefinite. So indefinite, it will change. But the definite ones, I think, yes, in the next slide, it is A, librin A, for example, on slide number 8. Librin A, always if it's accusative definite with A. Dative would be with t, një liber të. Të studentes, for example. And if it were feminine, lules s. So that's the only time we will see the s article. If the noun is feminine, when the noun is feminine and always in the dative case. Let's check out some examples on slide number 9, and then we can check out the articles they take. So I'll do the first one. Mr. By checking out the ending, you can never tell if it's feminine or masculine, you just learn it by heart. So it's a masculine noun. Elizabeth, can you try to do the first noun? The first example?
Sure. Mua më pëlqen buka e misri. Buka e misri.
Check out the table for masculine nouns, slide number 5. Check out the table for masculine nouns.
Okay.
So are we using the definite? We want to say I like cornbread, right? We are not saying I like the bread of a corn, so not indefinite, but the definite. So what is the ending, the suffix?
Misrit.
Misrit, yes, the
definite.
1 second. So, and by the way, I forgot to tell you, the indefinite form is hardly ever used. The indefinite form. The definite form is more used, so that's the one you should know. Buka e misrit. Let me type it. Buka e misrit. So why e now?
Because buka is feminine.
Yes.
Buka is definite because it's the subject. The book,
yes, correct.
The verb pleases.
Yes, with the verb like, the thing that you like is nominative definite. The bread of the corn is literally translated. So buka e mistrit, the t ending, exactly the same ending like dative, the same will be in genitive. Okay, buka e mistrit, like cornbread, or literally the bread of the corn. Teresa, can you try to do the second sentence? And the third, we'll talk about it in a bit. Teresa, the second sentence. So there is an N there. Check out the table. There is an N there, and check out the table on slide number 5. So what case is the first noun?
That is it definite accusative?
Definite accusative, yes. So now you know the first noun is definite accusative. What's the article? If you were to put an adjective, the expensive book, just put an adjective. It's the same article.
I think it's E, is it?
No, in accusative, the gender is not relevant. If it's definite, check out slide number 5. If it's definite, no, not number 5, sorry. Slide number 8. So those are the articles. So we said it's accusative, and this slide is only for definite nouns. It's accusative. It doesn't matter feminine, masculine. The article is e.
Okay.
So librin e, and then Albanit, correct. So to go back to the endings, they're the same like in dative we said, and if it is feminine, it is s ending. If it is masculine, it will take t ending. So you can memorize it also like this, s or t. Okay?
Sorry, can you repeat that?
Yes, so it's the same how to build the ending, because it took you a few seconds to find the ending in order to memorize it easier. If it is a masculine noun, put a t. If it's a feminine noun, put a s.
Okay.
So Teresa's would be your name. El sonit, Teresa's. The same rule is for dative. The same will be for ablative as well.
Okay.
Here. So the first example again, buka, that's the first noun. The second noun is misrit, and in the middle we have the linking article a. In the second example, librin, accusative definite, that's the first noun, and the second noun is albanit, of Alban. So librin albanit eledzuan të gjithë. The book of Alban read everyone, or everyone read the book of Artan. You can also say të gjithë e lexuan librin e Artanit. That's also correct. Mirë, before we go to the third sentence, let's check out slide number 10, slide number 10. There are some prepositions, or you can also call them, I don't know, compound prepositions or like fixed expressions that use the genitive case. And these are me an të. So that is part of the genitive. Me an të. That means through or via, through, with the help of, or just through. Me an të. For example, I bëjmë mësimet me anë të internetit. So we do the lessons through the internet or via internet or with the help of internet. So të internetit, that's a genitive case. Me anë të internetit, me anë të telefonit, me anë të anything else. So that's one. Me ndihmën e. So ndim is one noun, it's accusative, that's why e. Me ndihmën e with the help of. So, I bëj llogaritjet me ndihmën e makinës llogaritse. Makinë llogaritse is calculator. So, e makinës, that's the genitive part. I do the calculating with the help of the calculator, with the help of me ndihmën e. So, needs the genitive as well. Me ardhjen e, with the arrival of. So again, e. Me ardhjen e pranverës, erdhën edhe dalëndyshet. Does anyone know what dalëndysh is? It's a type of bird. I'm asking you because I don't know how to pronounce it in English. Either shallow or swallow, one of those. The blackbird that comes in spring or something. Elizabeth, help please.
Swallow.
Thank you.
In the swallow, the small fly-eating, insect-eating bird?
Yes. Either, yes, I wasn't sure either swallow or shallow, but okay.
Swallow.
Swallow.
I know.
Thank you.
But not gel.
Pardon?
Not gel.
No, gel would be like rooster or yes.
No, the other kind of gel where you swallow it.
Oh, the gel.
Gel.
Oh, gel, yes, okay. Mirë, so me ardhjen e, with the arrival of. Me ardhjen e pranverës, erdhën dhe dalëndyshet. Nga ana e, that would be like by the side of. Për shembull, ata po na prisnin nga ana tjetër e rrugës. They're waiting for us by the other side of the road. Nga ana tjetër e rrugës. Per arsye të and per shkak të they have the same meaning. So one is like for the reason of, the other one is for the cause of. So it's basically because of or due. So per arsye të motit keq, u anullua fluturimi I sotëm. So per arsye të motit keq, because of the bad weather, today's flight was cancelled. Because of or due to the bad weather. Per shkak të motit të keq. So that's the genitive part. The other one, per shkak të, per arsye të, so the same, because of due. Per shkak të lidhjes së keqe të internetit, që e pamundur të bëhej mësim. Due to the lidhje e keqe interneti, bad internet connection. So due to the bad internet connection, it was impossible to have a lesson. Për shkak të lidhjes së keqe të internetit. Në vend të instead of also follows a genitive. So dua të shkoj unë në vend të Marinës. I want to go there instead of her, instead of Marina. Në vend të. So dua të shkoj unë. This is a very typical expression to put unë after the verb. To stress it more. Dua të shkoj unë në vend të Marinës. So in English you'd say I want to go instead of her. The last one, so we need this one for the exercise. Me përjashtim të, with the exception of, so excluding this person. Me përjashtim të Elsonit, të gjithë flasin greqisht. So everyone but Elson speaks Greek. With the exception of Elson, so everyone but me përjashtim të. Okay. There are many other ones, but these are the main ones that follow the genitive. Check out the article. Some take t, some e, and there are fixed ones. Don't change this. So it's always me an t, në vend të, për shkak të. There are fixed expressions, and then the genitive one. Mir, any questions so far? Something you'd like to add?
So you won't have s here?
Oh, sorry.
Tell me, Lenson. So here we have no s. So when did we say we use the s? If the noun is dative and if it is feminine, s. So here we don't have any because dative does not take any prepositions. Me is a preposition. Me, nga, per, ne, me. They are all prepositions and dative has no prepositions. That's why you would not have the case of using s here.
Okay, fine, there.
Teresa?
Just on the nga it means on the other.
You can say on the other side of the road or by the side of the road. Here it is by the other side because we are using theater. Ngana theater by the other side of the road. But you can also
itself, what does it mean? Nga
by the side of, by the side of
okay.
the road, by the side of the river, by the side of, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thank you.
What did I want to say? Here we have the article s. So you use now. We mentioned with the dative part, that was one example of when we use the s. The other time when we use the s is, so this is the first noun, shkak. The article in the middle, t. Then we have t plus the second noun, livies, connection, which forms a dative. The genitive. What if you want to use an adjective after it? This is now very easy. Check out the last letter. If the last letter is s and you want to use an adjective, the article is always s. If the article is t, check out the previous example, then the article will always be t. So check out motit të keq, lidhjes së keqe.
I have a question.
Yeah.
Is it possible that Kosovar Albanians always use t and not s?
I mean, it depends on.
Because I have the feeling that also
yes.
if the last letter is s, they use t.
Yes, that also happens in Albania, not only in Kosovo. So you hear it a lot being used not correctly. Yes.
Thank you.
It's no problem. Okay, so that's when we.
I have a question before you continue.
Tell me.
So in that same sentence, perskakta lidies, if instead of bad, it was because of John's connection.
Because of what connection?
So somebody owns the connection.
Okay.
So you still have lidis, sa, and then yonit.
Yes, it doesn't matter what the adjective itself is. It can be any of the adjectives. Just check out. It's about the linking article, right? Se or te or e.
Right.
Right. Just check out the last letter of the previous genitive.
So
if it
whatever
says
the previous one
whatever.
is.
Yes, whatever.
Okay.
It doesn't matter what the adjective is. I mean, as long as it has article, the adjective, because we also have those without article.
Right.
Yes. Për arsye të motit të keq, për arsye të lidhjes së keqe. Okay.
Thank you. Following Derek.
Let me give you another similar example. Shoqja e motrës së agimit. Here are three nouns. So typically genitive is with two nouns. Noun number one, we said shoqja, that's nominative definite. Noun number two, motrës, that's genitive because of link article in the middle, e. Now, what if you want to use a third noun? So the friend of the sister of agim. Check out the last letter, s, motrës së agimit. The opposite would be shoqja e vllait të agimit. So because vllait të. Okay. So you use the s article if the last letter of the genitive is already s. Try to keep in mind these expressions, these fixed expressions or these prepositions that follow the genitive case. Some important verbs here: bëj llogaritje, to make calculations. Bëj llogaritje, bëj mësim, to have a lesson, to do a lesson. Anulloj fluturimin, to cancel the flight. Yeah, that's all I think. Press to wait. It also means to cut, but here is to wait. They were waiting for us, not they were cutting us. Machin logaritse. So calculating machine, that's calculator. Machin logaritse. Dalendushe was swallow. Epamundur, impossible. Epamundur. Che, it means ishte, it was. Che, past simple of yam. So epamundur, impossible. U anulua, it got cancelled. So it's a reflexive verb. U anulua. Vend literally means place, in place of. So instead of. Nevente. Arsye, it's a noun by itself. Arsye means reason. And shkak means cause. Përjashtim means exception. On side, ndim, help, are the arrival. So all these, if you notice these expressions, these prepositions, they all have a noun. An, ndim, are the, they're all nouns. In the middle, the linking article, and then the rest of the genitive. Here, let's go back to the exercise. So here we have me përjashtim, with the exception. So that expression needs the genitive. With the exception of today, any other day I will be free. So I'll be free every day but today. What was your name again? Torben, can you try and do that one?
Yes, me përjashtim të ditës së sotme do jem I lirë çdo ditë tjetër.
So, yes. Have an adjective after. It will have the same article like this.
Yeah.
Ditës së sotme.
Doesn't së sotme, yes. Has it to be do të jem I lirë?
In the future, the t is optional. You can leave it out.
Ah, this is not future, but it is I want to.
No, it is future. It is future. So in future simple, the t is optional.
Ah, okay, it's optional.
So you can say un do të jemi lirë, un do jemi lirë is the same.
Ah, okay.
Yes, it's optional. So this is subjunctive mood, right? And only in the future it's optional, not in other usages of subjunctive. The t is mandatory then, but only in the future simple it's optional. Mirë, do jemi lirë, do të jemi lirë is the same. Me përjashtim të ditës së sotme. What's the first noun? Përjashtim. So if you remember what case that is, after me always accusative. Accusative
Yes.
indefinite.
Accusative indefinite. Yeah.
Indefinite, yes. And if you check the table previously, indefinite accusative, it is të. The second noun, ditës. Here. The next one, dita, the day of summer. So summer's day is a holiday here in Albania. Teresa, can you try and do that one?
Dita verës.
Dita verës festohet
Festohet.
zyrtarisht
Zyrtarisht me 14 mars.
Mars shumë mirë. Dita verës festohet zyrtarisht më 14 mars. So the day of summer, dita nominative definite. Imagine if you were to put an adjective after the article would be dita e bukur, e gjatë, e madhe, dita e verës. So the day of summer. Again, if it's a feminine noun, you put s, ditës, verës. If it's masculine noun, you put misrit, albanit, elsonit, etc.
Again, one question, it could also mean the day of the wine. Or...
Yes, it could be the day of the wine as well. Yes, wine's day, dita verës, yes. Or summer's day or spring's day could be as well. Dita verës festohet zyrtarisht më. The day of summer's day, it's being celebrated or it is celebrated officially zyrtarisht on the 14th of March, më 14 mars. So if you happen to be in Albania on that day, you are very lucky. It's the most beautiful holiday we have. Mirë, numri 5, I guess, number 5, Lenson, mund ta lexosh. So muaj.
Muaj. Wait. Muaj. I guess. Muaj I Gushtit.
Muaj I Gushtit, correct.
Është muaji më I Nëzert.
Më I Nxehtë, yes. So the month of August. Of course, you can also say simply August, which would be Gushti, nominative, but we want to use genitive. So muaji I Gushtit, the month of August. Muaj, nominative definite, Gushtit, the genitive part, and then the article in the middle. So why I, the article?
Because it's nominative.
Because, yes, nominative, and it's a masculine noun, muaj. Here, muaj, masculine, nominative. In nominative, the gender is relevant, but in accusative, no. Muaj më I nxehtë, superlative there, the hottest, më I nxehtë. Elizabeth, I shkrova një letër. You are muted. Can you unmute yourself, please? Okay, Elizabeth cannot hear.
Oh, sorry, I didn't know.
Okay, stop then. Go ahead.
I shkrova një letër shokut të klasës.
Shokut të klasës, yes. 1 second. Një letër shokut të klasës. Now, why të?
Because it's shokut is dative.
Yes, dative, correct. Now we go back to that table, slide number 8. If it is dative, if it is masculine, we use the t article. But if it's feminine, we use s. I just wrote another sentence. Now,
So,
can you do the next sentence as well?
Shkrova një letër shoqës së klasës.
Why is it like this? Class, also in the previous one, classes. So one occasion when we see that S at the end was, we mentioned it on slide number 10. So when there are 3 nouns, one after the other, the friend, of the sister, of Agim, so that third noun will have s as article. That was one occasion. And the second one is if you have the dative. Dative has always an S at the end for feminine nouns. And you want to use an article, you use the s article. This is the same for adjectives. Yes, exactly the same for adjectives. Masculine t, feminine s. I shkrova një letër shokut klasës. I wrote a letter to my classmate, so to the friend of the class, literally. Why I? What is I? Elizabeth, unmute yourself.
It's the thing that you wrote.
No, it's not it.
To him. So, I wrote to him
yes,
a letter, and then you named it. So it's the weak form.
Exactly.
And
yes.
Shokut or shochus is the strong form.
Yes, correct. So always dative needs a weak form every single time. You cannot build dative without the weak form. So to him, to her, to us, to me, etc. So I means to the friend, shokut. Ati, to him. Okay, in case you're watching from YouTube and you want to join this lesson, check out the link, learnalbanianonline.net, and then live classes. You're welcome to join. The next lesson, I don't know when exactly yet it will be, but I will let you know. You will find out one way or the other. Number 8, let's see, Teresa. So, dotted press. Testazioni.
Dotted press, testazioni.
So, te needs nominative as a preposition.
Okay, I trenit.
Yes, show me stazioni, I trenit. If I say nominative, the gender is relevant. So it's a masculine noun, I. Is it a feminine noun? I trenit. Yes, stazioni, the first noun, trenit, the second noun, and the article in the middle. Here. So dotted press is only trenit. Why double t? Why dotted t? It's not a spelling mistake.
Yeah, it's because one means in the future and the other one represents me.
So you, I will wait you.
You, yes, you, sorry.
Correct. Yes. So
Yeah.
one is the future t, dot. We said earlier the future t, the t is optional, so you can leave it out. But I wrote it just because we can have this conversation now. So you can also say doprese se oni trenit. Here. I will wait for you at the train station, at the station of the train, literally. Let's do number 9, Lenson. Number 10, Torben. Lenson?
Tani dot nad jakim parashikimim.
So accusative. If you see n, it's accusative.
Oh,
accusative.
yeah, okay.
Definite,
So,
always. No, definite accusative. If it was indefinite, then a. Parashikimin, a. And then? Motit. And check out the next part of the sentence. Diten a. Accusative definite is always a. Diten a. Parashikimin a. Doesn't matter the gender of the noun. The gender is not relevant in accusative. Tani doten diekin parashikimin and motit per diten and sotme. Lenson, can you try and translate it? Maybe there's some new words there.
For instance, like we will now, like weather forecast for today.
Exactly. Yes. Now we will follow diek to follow. We'll follow the forecast of the weather for the day of today. Okay. Yeah. The next one, number 10.
Yes. Well, this is pro. Harova nështë pi Chelsat e makines.
E shumir Chelsat e makines. Correct. Harova
I
Chelsat.
can also say I harova nështë pi Chelsat e makines.
Yes, correct. If you want to stress them, so the keys, them, then you put the I. I harova nështë pi Chelsat makines. Correct. Here. So it's not the same E like number 6. There it's mandatory. In dative, it's always mandatory to use the weak form of the pronouns. However, in accusative, no. That's why it's not written there. It's not the same E like number 6. Okay, so I forgot the keys of the car at home. So number 11, Lenson, the next one, Teresa, and the next one, Elizabeth. So 11, Lenson, 12, Teresa, 13th, Elizabeth. So mësuesja e re, Lenson?
Okay, mësuesja e re.
Re. So actually, my mistake there. Anglisht is an adverb. The noun is actually anglishte. Like lule. How do you change lule in genitive? Or in dative? What's the ending?
Yes, no.
Yes, mësuesja e re, so it's feminine noun, e anglishtes. Mësuesja e re e anglishtes. The new teacher of English. The new English teacher. Mësuesja e re e anglishtes nuk flet fare shqip. So the new English teacher doesn't speak at all Albanian. Fare at all. Okay? E anglishtes. So anglishte is the name for the word for English as a noun. Number 12.
Weises. I'm wondering where I should place the gender now, if it's E or I, but
So
should
so
it reflect on the girl?
We need the article, right?
Yeah.
So noun number 1, I'll put it in green, that one, and noun number 2 in the brackets. So in the middle, always the article. Which one? E, E, T, or S? It is very, very obvious. Check out the word carefully. Check out the first noun.
Yes, I think it's
S, yes. Weises S. So check out the weises S, and then?
Erionit.
Yes, erionit, correct.
I pëlqen të vizitojnë.
Vizatojnë.
Vizatojnë.
Shumë mirë.
Toj.
This is a dative. Vizatojnë, correct. This is a dative sentence with the verb to like. We use dative. The daughter of Erjon likes drawing. Vajzës. If it were something similar, for masculine noun, it would be, one second, with another verb. So let's say djalit, and then të. Djalit të Erionit. The boy, the son of Erion's head is hurting. Djalit Erionit with them koka. Okay. It's a dative sentence, and that's when we use the s. Okay, who had, I think Elizabeth, number 14?
I have the next one, but also can you refresh the screen because it's kind of frozen?
Oh yes, thank you for letting me know.
Sure. Lulia djelit.
Shumë
Është Lulia ime e para pëlqyer.
Para pëlqyer, shumë mirë. Lulia ime e para pëlqyer, correct. So the flower of the sun, so the sunflower. Shumë mirë. Lulia e diellit është lulia ime e preferuar. Nominative, definite, that's why e. I always forget your name. I want to say Oliver or something. Torben, okay?
Okay. Nuk e ha dot mishin e derit.
So I don't eat literally the meat of the pork, so of the pig, I don't eat pork. Nuk e ha dot mishin e derit.
Dot means the same as fare, yes? I don't eat it all. Yeah.
At all. More like, so fare means I don't eat it at all. Nuk e ha dot. Dot is a particle used always with nuk, and it means something like I really can't. Even if I could, I really cannot. So, dot. For example, nuk vi dot. That means I really cannot come and see you or something. I really cannot come. But nuk vi fare, that means I'm not coming at all. I really cannot, even if you could. I really cannot. Nuk vi dot. Nuk notoj dot. I really cannot swim, or I'm unable to swim. But nuk notoj fare, I don't swim at all. Here?
Here, fine, there.
Okay, so this was an exercise about the genitive. As I said earlier, it's very important to check out the previous cases we have done, especially the adjectives. That's with different cases, because we'll be using the same linking articles. And the suffix, the endings for genitives are exactly the same like those for dative. When we study the ablative case, we will see that those will also be the same. So pretty much you have seen, I would say 99% of the endings that nouns in Albanian language take through the cases. We have not done the plural of nouns yet, but when we do that, I will also show you the endings that the plural form take. Yes, very important to keep in mind when do we use the genitive, so indicating possession. That's one. The second is how we build it. So those typically noun number one, which can be any of nominative, accusative, dative, any of definite, indefinite, any of feminine, masculine, plus the linking article, which always depends on the first noun, and then plus the second noun, which would be the genitive one. Yes, very important to keep in mind, slide number 10. The prepositions that we use with the prepositions or expressions, you can say, or fixed expressions that we use with the genitive case. Me ante, through, me ndimen, e, with the help of, me ardhjen e, with the arrival of. You can also say me largimin e, with the departure of. Me largimin e, I don't know, e dimrit, with the departure of winter. Me largimin e të ftuarve, of guests. Something. Nga ana e, by the side of, për arsye të, for the reason of, or because, për shkak të, due, because as well, në vend të, instead of, in the place of. Me përjashtim të, with the exception of, or except, or anything but, in English. Okay? I'm very excited to hear your sentences that you created. Anyone did write any sentences or would like to say any or to build? Elizabeth, can you build a sentence using the dative, any? And I will write them on the slide.
Sure. Let's see.
You can use a preposition.
Shkova në shtëpinë e nënës së Maris.
Së Maris, shumë shkova në shtëpinë e nënës së Maris. Perfect. Or shkova te shtëpia e nënës së Maris. But they mean the same thing, just they follow different cases. Shumir, anyone
I have
else?
a question actually. When because these articles, these linking articles are both for genitive and for adjectives. What if let's say this last sentence, I went to the house, to mother's new house. Let's put it like this. So actually, te shtëpia e re.
Yes, and nënës së Maris.
So then you have two e.
Yes, two a's, yes. So it's not that you can use one for both, no, because one is adjective, one is of the genitive.
And first the adjective and then the genitive.
Yes, because we don't want to say of the new mother.
Yeah, that would be a different meaning.
If you want to say that, then yes. And nënës së re,
but that does, yeah.
the new mother of Marie. Yes. Other ones, other sentences?
Is it correct to say mesimit tel sonit filoin neuron pes?
We need the nominative. This is dative.
Okay. So e.
Yes. Yes.
Yeah, it's okay. I complicated it more than it.
You complicated it more. Mesimi sonit. Filoi neuron pes. Correct. Right? It's the subject of the sentence. Nominative definite e, the article. Other sentences?
Let's see.
Using any of the prepositions, maybe, or the expressions we learned?
Yeah. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Lanson.
I just want to try to make one sentence. Më pëlqen mësimit të Elsonit.
The thing that you like is always nominative definite. Më pëlqen mësimi. And then nominative definite, it's masculine noun e Elsonit. So the thing that with the verb to like, the thing that you like is always definite nominative. Unless you're saying I like a lesson of Elson, but that's very rare. So the lesson, nominative, mësimi, e Elsonit. It's the same case like the previous one. Okay?
Yeah, I tried to make it dative, but I failed. So.
Yes, for some reason. Why would you use the dative? I mean, the dative is already used, but in the m part, and we are done with it.
Yeah.
So më pëlqen mua or mua më pëlqen, that's the full dative. Then the other nouns, what you like is nominative, and the rest, yes. Yes, other sentences? Torben?
Mesova shumë për rasat e gjuhës shqipe.
Shumë për rasat e gjuhës shqipe. Correct. So I learned a lot about the cases of Albanian language. Shumir. Rasat e. Plural, definite, accusative needs e as an article. Okay, yep. So that was pretty much it. As I said, I don't know when exactly will be the next lesson, but check out the links below. You will find out about the upcoming events as well. And I guess that was it. Any other questions? Any words to translate or anything?
Shumë faleminderit.
S'ka problem. Thank you then to everyone for joining. And I hope I can see you in the next lesson, okay?
Faleminderit. Elson, on the live classes page, there was no link. I don't know if other people might have joined, but it doesn't have the link like you put last time.
Okay, I think the other ones did use the link. Lanson said he used it, right?
Oh,
Yeah, I think there's like a button like live lesson or something.
Yes, there should be a button, live lesson or join lesson or something like that. I mean, it's the same like
join
before.
now.
Join
Okay.
now. I think yes, join
The
now.
join now. Okay.
Yes, it
All
will be the
right.
same. Mir?
Thank you. Faleminderit.
Faleminderit.
Mirupafshim.
Mirupafshim, didn't Mir, not in the Mir, Jess.
Faleminderit.
Mirupafshim.
Your option.